I stand before you today with one unmistakable message about Operation Epic Fury. America is winning. This was never meant to be a fair fight. The Iranian Air Force is no more, built for 1996, destroyed in 2026. The Iranian Navy rests at the bottom of the Persian Gulf. 4 days in, we have only just begun to fight.
6:19 a.m., the Strait of Hormuz. On the radar of the USS Spruance, 30 inbound signatures break the horizon. This isn't a drill. It's the start of the most ambitious blockade attempt in history. But Iranian strategists made one fatal mistake. They prepared for a war of the past. Today, we break down how a single carrier strike group and a squadron of Apaches turned a bulletproof blockade into a shooting gallery. They call this the silence before the thunder. On a forward operating base shadowed by the Strait of Hormuz, time itself seems to freeze as the AH-64 Apaches wait in the haze. Elite crews move toward their Apache helicopters with calculated precision. There is no room for fear here, only the mission. Every pilot knows that a single sortie from these Apaches could redraw the maps of the modern world. On the flight line, the ground crews work at a fever pitch. First, the heavy arguments. AGM-114 Hellfire missiles are locked onto the Apache's pylons, engineered to shatter the most advanced armor. Then, the Hydra 70 rocket pods are loaded into the Apache's launchers, a swarm of high-velocity steel for rapid saturation. In the chaos of modern combat, these Apaches are the only currency that matters. Massive fuel tankers pump tons of high-octane fuel into the veins of these Apache gunships. One last system check. One final breath before the storm. The machinery of war is now in motion. The Apaches are ready. There is no turning back, only the fire ahead. The pilots climb into their cockpits, merging with the world's most lethal attack helicopters. These are not just flyers. They are the elite 1% of the air cavalry, with thousands of combat hours etched into their steady hands. They have mastered the chaos of the night and the heat of the desert. Inside the Apache cockpit, man and machine become a single, unstoppable weapon. The Apaches break gravity, rising with a deafening roar. They sweep across the jagged forest lines and the endless golden deserts of the Gulf. This is the ultimate show of force, skimming the earth at lethal speeds. Every mile brings them closer to the flashpoint, and the first sign of a threat they've been waiting to hunt. the Apaches cross the threshold of the Strait of Hormuz, the world's most dangerous maritime choke point. Suddenly, the radar screens flare with hostile signatures. A swarm of Iranian-made drones emerges from the haze, locking their sights on the American gunships. But the hunters are ready for the swarm. The Apaches tilt into a combat stance, their 30mm cannons barking in rapid bursts of lead. One by one, the drones shatter into burning fragments, falling like dead stars into the dark waters below. This isn't just a patrol anymore. It's a high-stakes duel for air superiority. And in this narrow corridor of death, the Apache is the absolute king. The ocean erupts as Iranian warships launch a desperate volley of missiles toward the Apaches. The projectiles streak across the horizon, but they are too far from their civilian targets to cause any harm. The trap has failed. Now, it's the Apache's turn. The gunships bank hard, locking their long-range Hellfires onto the hostile fleet. With a deafening roar, the heavy missiles are unleashed, screaming across the water to find their marks. In a series of massive explosions, the Iranian vessels are consumed by fire. The message is clear. The strait belongs to the Apache. The assault doesn't stop at the shoreline. The Apaches pivot, their sensors locking onto hidden Iranian battery nests dug deep into the coastal cliffs. The gunners engage, unleashing a relentless rain of 30mm high explosive rounds that tear through the bunkers. From the sea to the sand, there is nowhere left to hide. In a storm of lead and fire, every hidden threat is systematically erased from the map. Subscribe for more tactical breakdowns. This is the new face of war.